This is part 2 of the Space Invaders animation using Adobe Animate CC. This is Adobe Animate CC training software channel again. So we need to make the starry background to go in our movie and our animation. So I'm going to go to Insert, New Symbol. And we want a graphic symbol, and I'm going to call this star. Now, I do have a video on this. Let me cancel star BG. I've actually created one, but I'm going to create one from scratch. I actually have a video on my channel how to create an animated graphic symbol, and that's what we're going to do in this case. So we're going to go to the polystar tool, and we want to make sure that we have it set to star. Now I want a large number of sides here, and I am going to create a, actually I'm going to undo that because I want the fill to be white. So I'm going to create a star so it has a fill but no background. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. It's not too big. Like so. And we can always zoom in. Now the thing is, we want this star to flash on and off in the background, and we want there to be loads of them starting at different times. So I'm just going to adjust the timeline, and we want about at least, I would say, 15 frames. So I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to right click, choose convert to keyframes. So we now have 15 keyframes of this star with a white film. But we really want the star to be flashing, so it's sparkling. So on every third frame, I'm going to change the fill to the background color, black. So I'm going to select this one and then change it. Oops, not red, sorry, I wasn't focusing. And I'm going to select this one and do the same. And select this one and do the same. And select, probably, I think I may have, that one should be possibly. So when we run our, so let's press play. Let's press play. Let's loop this. And so we're actually inside the symbol. So that's really important. We're creating an animated graphic symbol. As I say, I do have a video on this on my channel, so please have a look at that. So let's press play. And yeah, we do have it flashing. So I'm going to stop. So probably want that to hold for a while. So I'm going to put a frame in there so that just holds. Let's get here. Next one. So we probably want to change this one here, and let's put a couple of frames in there. So let's go here to here. Probably want to put some frames in here. Let's go here to probably put a few frames in there, and so we've got. We do have some flashing type of star field. So let's stop this animation and let's go back to the main timeline. So we have our asteroids layer and we have our ship layer. So I'm going to create a new layer. This probably will need to go in the back. I'll just call it star field. I think Too many eyes. All right, so okay. So I'm going to bring the star that we've just made, which is in the library. So if I just drag that over, you can see that's the star that we've just made in the library. I'm going to drag that onto the stage, like so. I actually need to make sure my playback head is right at the beginning there, otherwise that will be a nuisance. Great. So there's our star. We do want to have a lot of them, so I'm going to just zoom in actually, and just gonna. It is rather big, so I'm just going to hold down, just scale that down, and then zoom out again. So let's zoom out again. Go. Oops, daisy. Right, so there's our star in the background, but as I said before, we want to have quite a few of them. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and we really want to create a kind of like a cluster of these stars. So we have our stars here. It's nice to have an odd number actually, so I'll keep it as 5 for now. So if we move the playback head, we can see that the stars are flashing. But to make it a bit more interesting, obviously, it would be nice to have each an individual star actually starting at different frames. So the screen software is visible to you. So we've got this star here, and we can see that it starts at frame 1. If you remember, I think we've got, if we actually click, if we go into our library and let's edit this. As you can see, we've got up to 21. 21. Let's go back in there. So as you can see, I might actually just create a few more of these. I don't want to do it too many of these stars, and so if I select star, I'm just going to close this. We really want to be in this panel here. So we've got the first star starting at 1. So I'm going to select the second one. So that needs to start. So we've got 21, plenty to play with there. So let's have that start at 5. So let's select this one and have that maybe at 10. Select this one, have that starting at 15. Enter. Let's select this one, have that starting at 20. Enter. Select this one starting at 5. Enter. So we've got the stars here. Let's take the looping off, all starting at different times. That's great. So I'm going to select that keyframe and I'm going to hold down the Alt key. I'm going to zoom out just a touch. And I'm holding down the Alt key because I want to make copies of these stars. So I'm making copies of these stars here. Let's drag. Oops. Let's go back here. Oops. I'm going to lock these. I don't want that to be locked. I'm just going to grab a few there and just drag some there and drag a few up there. Right, so if we press play, we should get a twinkly background. So I'm going to save this. If we go to Control, Test Movie, let's play in Adobe Animate. Let's have a look. Right, so I can see our ship is very, very fast. So we can actually slow down the frame rate of this. It's very fast, isn't it? So let's go to Control, Test Movie. Oh, that's a lot better. It's a nice slower feel. And of course we can go in here and just change our animation. It is straight ahead, so let's just maybe turn that up there. So yeah, so we can change directions and stuff with our animations just there. Okay, so that's one way to create a starry background. There are some really good YouTube tutorials that actually go into using Photoshop to make a real kind of sparkly, glistening background. So I suggest you check those out. And that's all for me. And thank you for listening.